Well, hello everyone. Today we are going to be planting seeds and talking about how to make sure that you're watering them so that they are not being denied of any moisture they may need. So, first things first, I'm going to talk about some flowers that I bought, some marigolds. I am soaking them in a little tray of water. I don't want to spill it, but there that is. So I put it to where there is opening, where to make sure that it is sucking it up. So that's going on there. Then I have a plant where I put a little bit of water in the reservoir, as it were. I only like to put a little bit, and then that way the root will keep growing down and search for the water. So that's what's going on with a little bit of kale that's growing. And then I've put a little dome, little thing to keep it slightly humid so that it grows quicker. Next, we are going to be planting some moonflowers. Now, moonflowers are a very hard seed. So a lot of people, what they do is they take a piece of, see how hard it was? They'll take a piece of something rough, like what the heck is this shite stuff called? This sheet of, well, I'll put it in the comments. Otherwise, what you do if you are not somebody who has the patience to do that is soak it. Soak it for 24 hours and let that be. Also, things like larger beans, I'll do that as well. So the other thing we're going to be planting today is some yellow beans. So again, it is slightly bigger bean, bigger seed than a regular smaller tiny seed. So I am going to soak that, not as long as the moonflowers, but it will definitely get done. So I've also planted some peppers. With peppers, you're going to select how many you're going to want. I've selected mine already, and I have put them in this little container. And again, what I'll do, I put seeds in there. I'll water it to make sure it's nice and wet. You're going to use moist soil to start with. Then you're going to make it in there, put it down to the, usually you'll plant a seed to the size of the seed. So you're not going to plant it too deep. Again, so you usually use that reference of size that you'll use. Now, what did I do here? I've got a couple more seeds, so I'll just pop them in the water to germinate. Thank you, spirits. So next on the list, so we got that and that done. I am going to use, again, a small little container for usage. Next, we're going to do some morning glory to go along with the moonflower. Well, the moonflower will be in a separate pot because it's going to grow super big. And then the morning glory, as they trail, they too will grow quite tall. So I've decided that I'd like to have 4 of them. But because I want 4, I'm going to put 2 extra just to make sure in case one doesn't either germinate or I decide later that I want it to be now a little bushier and thicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the best seed that I think I'm finding. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the spot that I want, I think, yeah, again, I want to make sure to get the nicest seed. Usually you're going to take the biggest, fattest seed, you know, because that's usually the healthier one. So here I go. I've got this. I've got the farmer's tan going. I'm only on my balcony, but yet I already have a darker tan. I have to put. I end up putting some sunscreen on today. Now these look like they're pretty big as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also soak these overnight. So you'll do that again, depending on how thick the outer shell is dependent on how long you're going to soak your seed. So the thicker the outside, the longer you're going to soak it. Now, the other thing that you know about seeds is that if it floats, usually it means it's not the best seed. But if it sinks, it's a good seed. So I'll let that sit there and excuse me, start soaking. The other thing, I found some wildflowers. So what we'll do is make sure you're not on a wet spot. And I'm going to try and select some flowers. What I want to try and do is select the ones who are the same, so that we have a little bit of a sequence going. So I'm taking these ones, they seem to be curly. It's hard to look right now. It's getting dark where I am. It's after 8:30 at night. So I'm not positive if that looks the same or not. Ooh, they all look the same. One, two together in that small spot on my hand. So these flowers being wild flowers, they're going to likely grow quite large. So I'll only select so many. Again, I've decided I'm going to take only one type of seed out of the bunch. And that's what's going to happen there. Oh, ooh. Whoops, which one is this? Ooh, this one looks pretty. I'm just going to pick this one just because it looks so pretty. It's a really dark black one. I don't know how it's going to turn out to be, but so let's see now. These seem to be all the same. And again, I wanted to get a few of that one that I picked out and found. So let's see if I can find any more. Oh, little one's trying to run away. Darn, I don't see. Oh, another one's trying to fly away. I don't seem to see any more. That's weird. Oh, that's going to be a beautiful one. Thank you, spirits. Huh. And that's something. Glory be. So I'll put that. That looks similar. I meant the same as the ones that I chose. So I've got 6 of those and only 1 of the other. So that'll be plenty. All right, so those were wildflowers. So we'll plant one type of the wildflower. I don't know which one I'm planting. Oh, and those are soaking, so I'll put these marigolds aside. So what you'll do, you'll make sure you're using soil that is moist so that the seed has a spot to lay in. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, this one has holes already, and make sure you put holes at the bottom. So again, you're gonna make sure it's nice and wet, and you'll know that when it starts leaking. So there you go. So what you're gonna do, again, you're gonna plant the seed in accordance to how large the seed is. So if the seed is only 3 millimeters, you're gonna stick it in. If the size of the seed is 3 millimeters, you're gonna stick it in 6 millimeters. So the size of the seed depth under from what it would be. So you're gonna do that. I'm gonna set this right on my nice little one that I found. Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. And then we got these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 for good luck. So that's gonna go there. And I did wet it quite considerably too much, so I'm gonna put a tiny bit of dry soil on top for its little blanket. So just a wee bit. Again, you're only going the depth of what the seed is, and then you're gonna press it down just slightly. You don't wanna push it too hard, but you do wanna make sure it's snug in there. Next, you're gonna put it in a little water reservoir. Because I've watered it considerably, the water that's in here should suffice for tonight. And I will, well, actually, maybe I'll just put a tiny bit. So I put, just a tiny bit, and then I'll put it in here. And then in the morning, I'll get a checkup, make sure that it's good from the neck up. So the other thing I'm going to be doing is sowing some beets. So those ones I'm going to end up putting right in the along in different potters and so forth to fill up space and make good use of the space. So they may even, the beets could even go in the moon glories or whatever they're called, moonflowers I meant. So you'll take something sharp, be very careful, put some holes at the bottom, make sure there's enough. You're gonna put some soil up to 2/3 full dish. Lightly tap it down. Next, we're going to be putting, these are called columbine. So there's a combination of different colors. And I know that they can grow, I think, between 3 to 4 feet. So I am going to take a considerable amount. Whoa, we don't want too many. I think I have, well, that probably would be too many. Try and get it back. I think I have, they're about 10 to 12 here. Whoa, where am I? So you're gonna again make sure the soil is wet. Now you're gonna make sure the soil is wet before popping your seeds in, because otherwise they can get displaced, and next thing you know, one might be on top, floating on the top, and the other one will be down too deep. So that's hence why you want to make sure your soil is moist before you begin. Tap it down, make sure that the water goes all the way through. And I'm just going to pop those right on top. I'm going to do, like I said, I make just a little bed on top of loose soil. I'm going to try and make sure it's as fine and nice and fluffy as possible. And then, as I said, I'm going to give a light push on it just to make sure that it's snug in there and there's no air pockets, so that once it starts getting established, that it can start growing. So again, I'm going to put a little pot, a little reservoir for your extra water, and pop it in. Keep an eye on it. Make sure that you check the water often. And yes. Oh, other than that, the other thing with these ones is it is good to make, again, a little dome like this. You'll take a cup, you know, a bigger cup, the size of what you're using. So, for example, I guess I can do it here now. And my scissors are up there. What you're gonna do is cut right around the trim, right around the top. So, uh-oh, that one was too much. How am I gonna do it with this one? The thing is pretty good and stable here. Okay, so you're gonna cut enough so that it can sit along the top of the rim of the cup that you have there. So you're gonna make sure to cut that so that, like I said, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So you'll have your cup of your, let me do it this way, to make like a little tent, or I meant a greenhouse, the way you would say it. You'll put it on top like this. Oh, that doesn't fit. And that's what part of gardening is, going back and adjusting as you need to. Let's see here. Okay. So if you're lucky, there may be a line or sometimes a thing you can follow along. And then you're going to also make a hole in the top. Be careful with sharp objects. Oh, make sure it's in the middle here. Ooh. Scared. I'm going to use this tool because it's a little more pointier. And we'll go through. Should have gone through without too much trouble, because the scissors we don't want. So you're going to make sure that there's a area so that it can breathe on the top. I'm going to take these scissors apart a minute and make sure the hole is a little bigger now that I've got the hole started. So you're going to do something like that, but it is better that it has some, the dome on the top is going to have, you're going to make sure that it, ow, my little ankles. You're going to make sure that the dome is usually clear and see-through. So you're going to stick that right on the top, and it'll give the appearance of being in the dark. And then otherwise, it's even better to put a plastic saran wrap or something like that on top. So I'm going to put this one back on here. That's what I was meaning to want you to know. To make a dome like this, make sure there's a hole at top so it can breathe. And that is the way to plant your seeds. Get them started in little pots, little planters. You can use egg cartons, use recyclables, anything that you can find. Start small with the seed in a smaller size pot. And then as it grows, you get it into a larger size. Something like this, you'll make sure that it grows long enough that the roots have established in it. Once it has, you'll let the plant, the little area dry, and then you'll just hold it upside down, push it at the bottom gently, and pop it out, holding it, and you'll just transplant it again into a larger, say something this size, you'll put it into a larger vessel this size, and you'll keep moving up from there. So that is the way to seed your plants and take care of the start of your gardening. So enjoy, grow with me, stay updated. Make sure to click like and subscribe, and make sure again, be friendly and share.